Right here.
I'm just slowly moving up and down. Found a good area. This one's kind of hard, Mom.
If it's hard, then don't.
Mom, I'm
Next
emptying
time,
my
if it's
bucket.
hard, don't pick it.
Mom, is this one ripe?
It's good as long if it's squeezable.
It's barely.
Well, if you've already picked it, just put it in your bucket. And you're supposed to squeeze them before you pick them.
Well, I'm not going.
Hey guys, what's up? Not at Roots Refuge Farm right now. I'm actually at my friend Hannah's house. She messaged me today and offered for me to come pick off of these lovely mature SCUPPERNONG 9. Little tip. She offered me to come pick off these vines. This is a form of a grape. Here in South Carolina, they're called SCUPPERNONGs. They're spelled SCUPPERNOGs. If you say SCUPPERNOG, it's just a big flag that you're not from here, which I'm not. But they're really, really good. Now's the season for them. They have really thick skins and a lot of seeds. So obviously not as popular as grapes, but they still make really good jelly and really good wine. So I'm gonna pick a good deal. I've already got my basket about halfway full here. I think I'm gonna fill the whole thing up today. Flying jets over a lot this last few days here in the Midlands of South Carolina. You hear that? Knowing when to quit when I'm picking stuff like this has really never been my strong suit. I brought my, Toby and Ezra with me. Didn't bring all the kids, but they offered to come and they helped for a little while, but they tapped out and then they saw there was a swing set, so they're over there playing, which is fine. I know I tell the same stories over and over again, but they're the ones I've got. Back whenever homesteading was but a dream for me and much an impossibility, we didn't have the money to buy land, and I didn't even really have the money to buy a lot of local food, going to farms or buying like half a cow or really buying much of anything at the farmer's market. My solution to that was anytime I had the opportunity to forage or glean, I would do it. Like I had a friend that I would go with to her father-in-law's 40 acres and pick wild blackberries. And I was so tenacious. I remember taking Jeremiah out there when we were dating, and he said something to me that at the time just, wooed the heck out of me. We'd picked for hours, and he and the kids had all tapped out. They were all like sitting in the car in the air conditioning. I was like, could I go a little bit longer? Could I just get a little bit more? And he told me after the fact, he's like, I saw you there on that hillside. And he was like, I just knew that you were so fierce about this. I knew you weren't going to stop until you got what you came for. And I felt so seen and known in that moment because I so wanted food security. I so wanted real food. And so any opportunity that I had like that, it was not just picking blackberries. It was literally fulfilling this deeply hungry place in me with just a little bite to eat. And it was like I had to savor it. When my friend Hannah messaged me today and offered me to come pick these SCUPPERNONGs, I'm not picking these out of need the way I used to. But maybe I am, maybe there's still something lovely about being able to lay hold of something that you couldn't otherwise have. fresh, free, organic, locally grown fruit, I don't have any. So here I am, fulfilling that hunger. You know, I was talking in videos recently about food and getting real food on a budget, and gleaning, which is to say, like picking the leftovers. Like in the case of these vines, like this is a lot, and Hannah has this, they're established, she's already picked a ton. Her mom's picked, her mom's making jelly. Hannah also has a job, so there's like a limited amount of time, and so you get to a point that you've like met your need and there's excess. And when you don't have time, it's not, I get told all the time, people be like, well, if you have so much excess, just pick it and donate it. I don't have time. I do offer to friends and family to come and pick from my garden when I've hit the point that I'm like, I've got what I need and I don't really have time to deal with the rest. Some people take me up on that. Some people don't, which is fine. I mean, I don't know what's going on in their life. I understand going to the store to get your food is easier and faster. I think that if you're in the place of like desperately dreaming for this and really, really hoping to get to exercise real food, learning to prepare it, learning to preserve it, like with this basket full of these grapes, I'm going to make jelly and I'm going to make wine, or attempt to. I've never actually made wine before. I was there once with Nathan Reagan whenever he was kind of starting the process and watched him, but that has been years ago and I don't really remember a lot of it. But I'm going to learn with these, and if you have access to free food, what a great thing to learn with. It is a great thing in your classroom. Those blackberries I used to forage is what I learned to can on. Just ask around. Eventually what happens, like if you're a part of a church community, or if you're in a mom group or a homeschool co-op or whatever, if you let people know that you're glad to come and pick their abundance and take it off their hands, or if you're glad to come help them with the abundance that they're dealing with and trade for some of it, there's a lot of opportunity for that within community. Eventually you become kind of known. That's how it was for me. In my church and like within my communities, I was kind of known as the person who would be glad to come and pick, and I would be given so much extra stuff and so much opportunity. I remember one time somebody bringing me like an entire bushel of pears in and being like, hey, I heard you would take this, do you want it? And I'm like, yes, I want it. Because a lot of times, like I know for me as a gardener, when I have extra stuff, when I have somebody that is like eager to take that and make the most out of it, that's who I'm going to think of first to give my excess. Where I have some people who I'll give stuff to and they're like, yeah, I guess I'll take one, you know, like they may eat some of it, but it's the people who I know are yearning for real food that come to my mind first when I'm like, hey, do you want to come pick what's extra in my garden? Or I'm going out of town, do you want to come harvest while I'm gone? That's who I go to first. Y'all hear that donkey? There's a neighbor donkey, I guess. I did not even make it to the other variety. There's two varieties. One is smaller and kind of purplish, and these are the golden ones, and my basket is almost to the point of being really full. We picked for about an hour, and of course the boys were helping me more the first half, and I was getting a little more progress then. But I'm going to top this off, and then I'm going to take them back home so we can eat. I am so excited about this. If I were to buy this at the local farmer's market, this basket would have cost me at least $30, I would say. Maybe even more than that, depending on the vendor. So this is definitely worth an hour of our time. Not to mention the fact that at the market, I would not really know for sure how things were grown. You can always ask at farmer's markets if things are grown organically, but you don't really know. You don't know what's going on, so it's nice to know that these are good and clean because I know how Hannah gardens, so I'm very excited and very thankful to have these. But dang if it isn't hard to walk away and just keep being like, oh, there's one little good cluster, I'll grab it. Like, look, I'm just walking past this. Just a few more, just a few more.
Is your bucket over than full? Oh no, Mom. It could be overflowing, but you've eaten like 100.
Busted.
I figured it out just by seeing how much you have.
I did not eat a ton. I initially ate some.
Is that it?
Oh, but look at all these in here. See, this is like the initial. This is the original Netflix next episode. Hey, will you please pick up those 2 blue buckets that Hannah loaned us and carry them back over there to her barn so she doesn't have to come pick up our mess? I guess the ticket to knowing when to stop is when your kids take the basket and put it in the car because it has reached fullness. They're like, come on, Mom, we're done. Oh man, I'm gonna have to come back whenever I can pick some more. Hey guys, what's up? It is 2 days later after the first part of this video. I just edited it and realized that I had forgotten to sign off the end of it. Since I picked all of my wild grapes, Scuppernongs, they're actually a version of muscadines. I didn't say that in the first part of this, but muscadines are probably a little more commonly known than Scuppernon or Scuppernog. That's just basically a variety, and they're those bronze ones from what I understand. But I took them, put them in a big pot. We ate a lot of them. They sat here on the counter for a day and a half. We ate a lot of them, but I put them in a big pot, and now I have a gallon of juice. So I've got to decide if I want to do the wine or the jelly, or if I want to try to do both. I actually have some muscadine wine that someone gave me that I may try to make muscadine wine jelly. I'm going to try to figure that out. I don't know. I've got some experimenting to do. Definitely don't have instructions because I'm going to have to kind of figure out the way to go. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today, the other day, all the days that you do. I bless you. Until next time.